Hi, welcome to Caribou Country Lifestyle. My name is Cheryl. Today I am going to be propagating my geraniums that I have overwintered. I dug them up out of my pots last fall and I put them in their own pots. I have a few here that are going to be great specimens for propagating. So take this one for instance. How I'm going to be propagating this geranium is first I am going to take off all of the dried leaves, dried dead leaves off of the plant. There's only a few on this one. Then I will be cutting it into sections. When you cut your geranium plants into sections, you want to make sure that you're cutting it with a sharp knife. I have just sharpened a paring knife and cleaned it, and you want to be cutting the sections on an angle. So first, I'm going to put the camera down so you can see what I'm doing with this first one. Quite a few geraniums here that I will be cutting up into sections. Once I cut these into sections, then I have to let them sit for 6 hours before I actually plant them into the dirt. I also have a plate of rooting hormone to dip the ends, the cut ends, into the rooting hormone, and then I'll be putting them in the dirt. But first I want to cut these geraniums into sections. When you cut them, you want to make sure you have at least 1 to 3 leaves on the section that you're cutting. So I have one piece here and I'm going to cut it on an angle. So there I have one section. Sections. I was just taking off some of these dead leaves here. I've got a few sections that I have cut, and then I'm just going to get a tray to put these sections into. And I've got some here. Now this one here only had one, but there's another little bud here on the top. So we'll see how well this one does. And this one here had most of its growth down towards the bottom, so I might just take this little bottom piece off here. I need enough room that I can dip it into the rooting hormone and then pop it into the dirt. So I have another section here. I'm always afraid I'm going to mangle the poor plant or break something off, so I'm just taking off the dead leaves. And I'll just put these leaves in my compost. Okay, so out of this piece, I could get 2 sections. I'm just going to lay it on my cutting board, and I'm going to cut it on an angle. This one has more than enough leaves, that section. And this one has 2, so that works. And then I'm just going to take off these little babies. Maybe I'll cut this down a little lower to the ground. And then I'll take off these dried up leaves. And then I have another little section with shoots there, and that's it for this plant. So out of that plant, I got 3 potential geranium plants. So I'll just show you this one. That did not make it. And I think that might have been a red geranium that I had given to me from my work. I have another really good one here that I can section off. I'll just take off these dead leaves. And I'm not sure what colors these are because I had some geraniums were a mixed color geraniums, and then some were a salmon color geranium. So I'm not sure what the colors are on these. I'll just move all of this, put that in that tray. I'm gonna cut this. There, I've got my angle. There's another geranium. I'm probably only gonna get 2 out of this plant, and I'll cut this on an angle. So there we go. Now I've got 2 sections. I've got another one here. And then once I dip it into the dirt, then I will, or dip it into the rooting hormone, which we will come back after the 6 hours of waiting. Okay. This part here is a pretty dry. I felt that coming on. Okay. I am going to cut this one right below here. And then I've still got some sections close to the base there. And then I am going to cut this little arm one off here. So there I have one. I'll just take these dried off leaves off of here. Put that section there. And then I'm going to cut this dried up section off, because I don't think it's really going to do anything. And then this will be my second cutting from it. And then I'll have to figure out how many I have. Just cutting this at the base. So that I don't, these ones that I just cut off, there's not much to it. I will dip it in rooting hormone and see how it goes. It may not, because I'm just cutting it at the base of the plant, right where it came out. I see there's another little one right there. And what I might end up doing is just leaving this section, and I'll just keep watering it. So in total, so far, let's separate them out. I just have to know how many pots I'm going to need. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 so far. I do have one here, and I'm just going to leave this in here and just let that grow. Same with this one. I have a little tiny growth right there. I will leave that. This one here, it hasn't really grown a whole heck of a lot. So I am just going to leave it. I'll just take off this dead stuff, and I will leave the rest of it to see how much more this is going to grow out. And over the winter, I only watered these every couple of weeks, every 2 or 3 weeks, then I watered them. So I'm not going to cut this one. I will just probably stick it in a pot. So, okay, we will come back once these have dried, and then we'll carry on from there. Okay, so now we are back, I have all of my plants, the geraniums sectioned off, so now I have let them dried for 6 hours, and now I'm just dipping them into the rooting hormone, and I am just shoving it right into the dirt. You just want to make sure you have enough of the stem to dip into the rooting hormone, and then just shove it into the dirt. And then these ones that I just pinched off the slips because they didn't really have much stem to them, I'm just putting them in the rooting hormone and hoping for the best as far as those go. And I have all of my seedling mix. I made sure that I moistened it. So I can't remember how many I have here. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. I have 24. And we'll see if that's going to be enough. I think I need 27. So I might have to moisten some more soil to be able to get all of them. I just don't want to start ripping off my poor leaves. And this tray that I have, I actually had this given to me. A friend of mine seen these trays at one of the senior centers. It's a senior activity center. And somebody had made mention that, oh, those would probably be great for trays for plants. And she happened to hear that. And she thought, oh, I wonder if Cheryl would be able to benefit from that. So I've got these leaves locked up. So when she brought them over here and asked me if I would be able to use that, I was like, yeah, of course I could use that. I definitely would use that. Thank you so much. And so, yeah, I'm gonna, oops, I dipped the wrong end. I'm just gonna wipe that rooting hormone off, dip the proper end. I dipped the top end instead of the bottom end. Put that in there. And then what I do is I just throw out that leftover rooting hormone. You don't want to be putting that back into the container. So I just need 3 more pots done up with my starter mix, and then I'll have those. So that's pretty much all there is to starting your own propagation of doing up your geraniums. So I hope you found this helpful, and I'm not going to say that every one of these slips that I have done, the geranium propagation, is going to take, but a good majority of them will take. And I mean, really, I think I had 15 plants, and I've taken those 15 plants, and I've doubled them in having my own propagation starts for my own geraniums. So I hope you found this helpful. And if you like this video, throw a like in there. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I also want to put a shout out to my sister. She lives in Saskatchewan, and she made me up a t-shirt at Christmas time, and she gave it to me. So I just want to show you. So she has a vinyl machine of some sort, and she does up t-shirts. So here we have Dirt Therapy Keeps Me Grounded. So I just want to say thank you. Got a little rooting hormone on my shirt, and that's what it's all about. And gardening definitely keeps me grounded. I love working in the dirt, and it is my best personal therapy for me. So thanks for joining me for today, and we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.